Women are not what you think. Women are not what you hope. Women are not what the fairy tale, the movies, and the romance stories have brainwashed you into believing. Women are born manipulated, cold-blooded tactician, and emotional assassin. Men are born with love.
I was gonna let this slide. I was gonna let it play out, but he's just bringing out so much facts within a few words. I don't know if this is AI or this is actual man, but this whole little video, he's gonna state a lot of facts, which is truth. Right? It's just the nature of this is the nature of the beast. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto the like foreigners, from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And Lord willing is the edifying show to the spirit. Because he's going to state a lot of facts of women nature. Right? And the first thing he said is the manipulation, which goes back to this real quick. Ecclesiastes 7, was it 7:26, I think? It says, I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets and bands, and her hands are bands, which is roundabout way, you could just say manipulation. She will use her feminine wits to lower a man's defense. And we have in this sick society that is encouraged, all right? Now, in the ancient world, women would be more silent and they could work their little magic back then, like that. But now it's more prominent. And the average man is realizing the majority of these women ain't shit. All right. And if, all women have this status, is just what you can deal with. All right. And it says, whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So the concept of the word they call simps, which really means simpleton. All right. And it have helped produce a generation of simps. So why? Because they fall for a woman's beauty, right? And the scripture tells you about not to not to put your all in a beautiful woman, roughly paraphrasing. I haven't read this in a while. And that's Ecclesiastes. Oh, sorry, Sirach. About the beauty of a woman. I think it's 40, but I'm just gonna put it anyway. A woman's beauty, right? Which ain't nothing wrong. If a woman's beautiful, she's beautiful. Right? But beauty is just the step into the door. It says Sirach 25 and 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Because that's part of the bands. That's part of the thing. When the Lord created women, He created women to the liking of us men. And like no matter how hard how hard brothers get on quote unquote sisters and all that, we hope for the best. Right? No matter how many times we'll say straight up, bitches ain't shit. And when you see a woman that has beauty, it kind of overtakes you for a moment. But that's where you have to be spiritual. Okay, it's not about your beauty. It's about your spirit. All right, it's by reading through the spirit, and that's one thing that the art of self examination and the art of building oneself their personality and all that, not to be selfish, not to be wicked. That's where it comes from. And a lot of you women are going to be destroyed because you put too much value into your own stock. All right, the days of looking good and not and just being that what's that trophy, those days are over. Shit's about to hit the fan. Shit's about to hit the fan. If you a fucking trophy, you might as well just be used as fire to keep somebody warm in a particular day, and you're done. That trophy mindset is not gonna get you nowhere. You're not the prize. But
Women are
this is the volume of what Esau have put in the minds of the women today. All right, sorry.
not what you think. Women are not what you.
Yeah, because when you're young, you think they are sweet and nice. Oh, that's what it is. Sugar and spice and everything nice. But they're not. All right? They're not.
Women are not what the fairy tale, the movies, and the romance stories have brainwashed you into believing. Women are born manipulated, cold-blooded tactician, and emotional assassin. Men are born with love. Women are born with strategy. Men give. Women calculate. Men try. Women.
What he said is absolutely right. Men love, women are calculated. All right? Men love. They may not seem like that now these days, but love is not what, oh, I love you, is by your action. You take care of the stuff that you love. Women, they just go for the next best thing. All right? For comfort, comfortability, and safety for the time being until some next fellow comes along. So very disloyal indeed. But I'm gonna let him play.
Protect. Men protect. Women wait and then strike. And when they strike, you will never see it coming. I feel nothing but pity for men who actually believe their woman loves them. These men are sheep being led to the slaughterhouse with a smile on their face. They think they are safe until the knife is in their back. The truth is this: the day you finally.
Hey, oh, he's gonna say, but I'm gonna just jump to what he's gonna say. Even our forefather, the man himself, all right, Adam, all right, he fell victim to that. He fell victim to that, and he's the first example. Technically, he's the alpha male that went through it all. So he been there, done that. Okay, we were supposed to learn from that experience. Technically,
Accept that women do not have the capacity to love men is the day you will finally be free. The day you stop believing in love and start believing in power is the day you ascend. From the beginning of.
you hear that, bros? The day you stop believing in love, but you believe in power, that's when you'll be free. That's why Isaiah 4:1, technically, to be the best bet is when you have spiritual powers. All right, she can't do no harm to you. She can't do no harm to you if your mindset is you don't need her. But if you can read her mind, you could on a level you could read through her. But when you have power, that's when they will be loyal. All right, we don't have power. We lost that. We lost our power. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We lost. We're in the bottom. And it like who said it? It was Apostle. It was Apostle Gabard. So the sign that you know that people are in the bottom or something like that is when they lose their women. Oh, that's Apostle Tahar. I know that. Yeah. Because he always says that. That's a clear cut sign that you're done. So the sign that we had is that our own women turn on us. All right, they completely became the enemy. Now some people, say, oh, it's because of what's this guy's name? Willie Lynch letter, or some of historical event, like slavery overall. But it goes beyond that. All right. It was always that power. Women always seek power. Loyalty, it doesn't exist unless you have power. This is a lesson that we all learning. We all learning this lesson live and direct every time we come back. Because we put too much merit, we put too much energy into something that doesn't doesn't really feed you any, no, doesn't even give you nothing, just takes from you. And this is what the Lord is showing us. The Lord's showing us the importance. That's why they're saying right now, men are not interested in taking women out, going on dates and this, that, to the third, because there's no true value with that. Point blank, there's no value at all. All right, you take a bitch out, especially in this rough economy, she automatically, she has a free meal, right? All these guys be talking about, how they be laying it down, laying out the pipe and all that. She'll go to somebody else that got pipe, all right? And she'll go to somebody else that got money in a heartbeat. You got the greatest men in history that got cheated on, that got, things happen, and they were manly men. So today's men, they fucking weak. So the focal point is never should have been women. But in a society where it has a feminine vibration, it has a queen of heaven spirit on it, why a lot of men fell for that trap. All right, you see clearly.
Woman's first betrayal was against man. Eve did not hesitate. She had no second thought. She chose selfishness over loyalty. And from that
Facts. And that's 100%. All right. That's 100%. It says, First Timothy's, yes, First Timothy. Boom, what? Yep. 12. It said, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Which transgression is what? Breaking the laws. Transgression is sin. Breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So she was the first one to sin against who? Not against the Heavenly Father. No, against her husband. All right? It was against her husband. She went against her husband's authority. That's what this whole thing is about. People act like when the serpent was talking to her, that the Lord told her and Adam this, that. No. He told Adam, and Adam told Eve, this is what you're not supposed to do. And then when the serpent came about, being the devil, that was in the form of a man, he knew how to get to her. Because she was the what? The weaker vessel. And then she rocked Adam's mind, waited for the opportunity and to do the things that he did. And what was the end result of it all? The fall of man. That's why a man should not really, technically, you shouldn't be really listen to no women, period. Because everything that comes out of them is a lie or some form of a lie that just that will tear your whole empire apart. All right. It says, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in the faith, in charity, and holiness of sorority. So that's the only way a woman could be saved, because what? You're bringing forth more gods. All right. And that's why I'm laughing because I remember, Pastor Todd 34th always just say like it was like 98% of black women ain't gonna make it, and then it became 99%. Now the whole world sees um, why that statement is true. Now they may not. Oh, the Hebrew Israelite said this, that, to the third, but that's why you had this shit. Men going their own way, red pill, and so forth, and it's always the same. The nasty nature of the modern woman and how diabolical she is, because she, at the end of the day, she's the weaker vessel, and the men that's in power gave her the position that she is in and kept her in that delusional state, which in turn helped destroy the man, mainly the Israelite man. So everything that this guy is saying, starting on day one. Salakia, I hate when this shit does that. Everything that was said in that particular video was completely correct. All right, and then he even said that's why the Lord Himself didn't, Yahushua, when He came into the scene, He didn't hear no disciple woman. Oh, what he said, I see. I hate when this thing does that. Hold on.
Not what you think. Women are not.
Salakia.
Wait, and then house with a smile on their face. They think born manipulate, cold-blooded tactician and emotional assassin. Men are born with love. Women are born with strategy. Men give. Women calculate. Men try. Women test. Men protect. Women wait and then strike.
It's a men trust, women test. And why she test for? Because she have no faith in him. She's trying to find a reason to have faith in the man. And they always pick the wrong guys, especially today. That's why there was not, in the ancient world, it was not given, they didn't give the right to choose who they will be with for the rest of their life. That was up to their parents, meaning their father. All right, and let the next man handle that. Okay? It's all Western society has really destroyed the mindset of the natural order of things. All right, that's what it is. You take something that technically is minute, but is not, because it has a backstory, a history, the fall of man. But if you allow men to control it, then it's fine. But when it's out of control the way it is today, it needs to be examined. It needs to be talked about continuously because it's going to destroy many. All right, it's going to destroy many.
And when they strike, you will never see it coming. I feel nothing but pity for men.
Hey, even like Samson and Delilah, right? He should never have said nothing about what it was his weakness, and the vow really was a vow. He shouldn't have said nothing, but she literally lowered his defenses so much so that he felt compelled to tell her. And what did she did end up doing? She strike strategically, right? So like right now, a lot of females is going to go into that war. Oh, that's what I was watching. That's what inspired this. I'm sorry. I was watching this stupid ass movie called No Strings Attached, or something like that. With that guy Kushner, whatever his name is. And I'm watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, um, hookup culture has ruined a whole entire generation. It's completely ruined everything. Hookup culture. When you sit there and stomach these films, and you was from another place, you watch this shit like, God damn, this is how American. These are how they do it. And women run by their emotion, thinking that they could be men and have as many men as they want, and wonder why they dead inside. And they're dead inside because They wasn't created to be that way. So we could clearly see there's a dynamic shift that's taking place. All right. And this is a constant reminder for brothers out there, stay in your P's and Q's. All right. Stay in your P's and Q's.
Who actually believe their woman.
Because that shit, that old stunt, that old playbook, we got plenty of history to show that. And there's still going to be so much betrayal in the near future just for survival tactics, period. But you got to stay, we have to stay in our P's and Q's when it comes to this. All right. And remember the nature of a woman.
Loves them. These men are sheep being led to the slaughterhouse with a smile on their face. They think they are.
That's Proverbs 9 and 13. That was, matter of fact, Proverbs, I think it's not 9, not 13. That's clamorous. 14. It says, "For she sitteth at the door of her house on the street, on the seat, on the high places," talking about these women, "calling to passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso simple, let him turn hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters," which is talking about adultery, "are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell." So, like a great film on the book of Eli, and there was a scene when a woman was asking for help. Blind woman, decent, she had some skin showing. Well, for I guess at that apocalyptic time, she would be eye candy, and he was in that direction, and she helped. What was her job? She was a trap. See, we can't make this shit up. She was the trap. Helping her would have got somebody killed. He didn't know how to fight, he would have got killed, robbed, so forth. So whosoever simple, so which is all this stuff is a lesson. It's a lesson upon lesson. All right. If you're simple, you get caught up in them. The main focus for any brother should be how about Shimi Shai. That is the focus. Why is she doing this?
Good thing to have a lot of losers. I hope.
I don't know. I keep doing this for. It keeps fucking changing. I hate Instagram. Hold on, one more time.
Never been loyal to one thing themselves. Even Jesus understood it, which is why he never commanded women to love men, because he knew they couldn't. Instead, he commanded them to submit. He knew their biggest flaw is selfishness. They do not want to give up control. They do not want to bow. They do not want to be LED, and that is why they must be put in their place. Never let a woman inside your mind. Never give a woman your heart. Never believe a woman.
That's biblical. All right. I don't want to go. So Micah, what was it? 7 and 5. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use the other phone. I'm gonna leave this on because if I take this off, it's gonna go away and defeats the purpose. Micah 7 and 5. It says, "Trust ye not in a friend, put ye not confidence in a guide." So you can't trust any old person, right? And you can't have no confidence in a guide. Our confidence supposed to be in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It means what? Confidence means with faith, right? "Keep the doors of thy mouth from her that layeth in thy bosom." So all that pillow talk and telling this, that to the third, keep your mouth in the minimum. All right, she's gonna question your authority regardless. Like the guy said, they don't. They test. They don't love. They're not committed. All right. They will test. And but if you tell them that you testing them out, then they'll cry wolf and so forth. They would have claimed to be the victim, but that's a woman's nature, right? That's all he's talking about is just a woman's nature.
It's different. Never.
And this nature that he's expressing, if that's carried out in the times to come, that's why 99 a lot of them is going to be taken out because all that is being said is a sure sign, especially in the last days of utter judgment. That behavior of no accountability is going to catch up and destroy them. Because we had some serious times. All that shit, your mammy and your grandmammy and all this, they used to do, and all that is going to come back to you. All right. The greatest fear for any woman is death. All right. Now, everybody fears death, but women fear death in a whole nother level. So, everything that he's saying, if that behavior is still continue to carry on, which it will be, then a heavy judgment is going to take place. All right.
Your guard, because the moment you believe the lie, you are already lost. The reason for this post is simple. Men do not trust a woman completely. Not your girlfriend, not your wife, not even your mother. No woman is exempt from this truth, because beneath every smile there is a gift. Behind every kindness there is a plan. And when she strikes, it will be at your most vulnerable moment. She will ruin you when you least expect it. She will betray you when you think you are safe. She will
And that should be the focal point because it's all about the betrayal. Because we're about to enter a phase of great betrayal real soon. Right? It's all sweet to be able to talk and say the things that you normally would say, but a lot of people is gonna put their life first before this truth. That's what the Lord was telling us. That was the warning. All right. Matthew 24 and like yeah, there it is. Matthew 24 and 10. It says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And we're gonna be entering in that phase. It's about to be the survival of the fittest, right? No loyalty, no nothing. But that is gonna get a lot of people killed, destroyed, annihilated, judged, however you want to say it. Because the Lord is about to bring some heavy judgment to this world, especially these women. The Lord hasn't forgotten. The Lord don't forget nothing. All right. Amos 7 and 17, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, which is a curse. All right. Which is a curse. This generation, they don't stand a chance. You could clearly see a lot of people is gonna be taken out just because of this war. This war that's about World War III is gonna take a lot of people out. All right. A lot of people is gonna be drafted. A lot of people here in the shores of America is gonna be taken out just for survival alone. But prior to all this hell that's about to take place, a lot of our women, the Israelite women, has been playing the whore. All right, giving up to Habibi in the corner store, give it up to anything and everybody. The hookup culture, right? That shit. So that was real, and it says, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. Because one, they're not gonna have proper guidance because the father's not in the household and they ran by their mother. So this is a curse that was put upon the Israelites, which goes back to Deuteronomy 28 and what, 54? No, 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure her set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicacy and the tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards her husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. See? So just the slightest of weakness, the slightest of hell, they're already quick to flip it on and go with the easy outing. All right, what comfortability relies on. That's the woman's nature. She have like a survival, you know, which it works both ways. She's gonna be with the strongest person. So like the one elder bro, it said when Isaiah 4:1 takes place, don't think that the woman that's gonna be with you is gonna love you. It's not about love, and it's never been about love. It's about a covenant. All right. Don't expect them to be like, oh, you know the best. No, no, no. It's about protection. You're closer to the Lord. So I'm gonna be with you. You know, that's what that's what they're gonna be thinking. You're close to the sun, and you're not allowing her to be burnt. Right? Isaiah 4, I'm sorry, yeah, 4:1. In that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat our own bread. So they're gonna find ways to make your life easier. That provider spirit, like a man gotta provide, he gotta find a way to that's gonna be thrown out the window. Showing you that that shit was never important. That was just a cliche. That was another trap to keep a man trapped. And we all know how it is in certain poor neighborhoods. You just gonna have the nicest shoe that day, and she'd be with, you know what I'm saying? And you do your thing, and that's it. That's all it took. She didn't give a fuck if you was a provider or not. And then you have the other side, like, oh, you gotta find a guy that's no. That's why the Lord designed it where man gets with a woman, they were supposed to be together for the rest of their life. This no such thing as a hookup culture. So in that day when all hell broken loose and people are trying to survive out there, a lot of women's gonna change their whole position. That what he was making point on, when he was right on point, saying that snare, they're gonna be after the ultimate snare. They're gonna try to do the best snare, which is not gonna be a snare because if they're dealing for man and Lord, he's gonna see right through that shit. So you women gonna provide for yourself. Hey, just like in the animal kingdom, the lion, the lioness. What do? The females gather together and they go hunting. And who they providing food for? Not the cubs, for themselves. And then when the when the king comes, he eats first. All right. It says, and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Because in that day, it's going to be a shame. It's going to be a shameful act if she's not protected. She don't have a man in the Lord. I'm the best way I can say it. All right. Because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to get together and the woman is like, oh, I know he's this and that. And sorry, sweetheart. The Lord ain't dealing with that dude. You just stuck. All right. That's how it's going to be. So the man in law is going to choose wisely because the Lord is going to make him choose wisely. And everybody's going to go back to where they're supposed to be. So this whole fairy tale, this whole, um, from the beginning of time, attitude is going to be thrown out the window. That proves it right there in Isaiah 4:1. All right, she's going to try to figure out how to find food, maintain food, make sure you eat, and the children. And then she's not going to be by herself. She's going to learn to share. They're going to learn to share in that day. So things about to get real, real. We got to constantly remind ourselves that, the nature that takes place. And it's not going to take that long for women to fall in line, especially when all hell is broken loose. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.